I don't even slide. I just keep running.
She did your interview. Or no, sorry. It was like Casey did. It was like
So this sentence up on the screen seems really, really mathy. Like it has a whole lot. I'm going to translate. Copy this into your notes. But what it says is the function f, that's its name, like Fred. We just call it f, fancy name. So this is the name of the function. That's not how we write an n. There we go. That's the name of the function. From set D to set E. All this means is this is our input. Also called our x. To set E, that's not a good circle. Holy cow, my handwriting is going terrible right now. This is our output. Or y. That is a correspondence relationship that assigns each element x of D to exactly one element y of E. Each x goes to only one y. That's what this says. Each x goes to only one y. It's just written in ultramath. Each input goes to only one output. Every x goes to only one y. So the colloquial, the way we talk about it, each input, that's a u, goes to only one output, or each x goes to only one y. So this is the, is it a function? We talk about functions a lot. Function rules, f of x. We take the x and plug it in place to find the y. This is the ultramath definition of a function. Each x goes to only one y. So we can find that on tables, we can find that on pictures, we can find that on equations. If each x goes to only one y. And we're going to practice this. I'm going to put these up. The values in the table are not super specific. You do not have to draw it as a grid. We're just saying, is it a function? Is it a function? Does each x go to only one y? Mainly what that is are there any repeats in the x's? So on this table here, do I have any repeats in my x's? No. Each x goes to only one y. -2 only goes to 7. -1 only goes to 4. 0 only goes to -1. This one is a function. There are no repeats. All right, what shape is this? What does this look like?
15.
A circle.
Oh.
I mean, you're not wrong. I was pointing at the 15, but it's a circle. So how about on this? Does each x go to only one y? No. This x right here goes up here and down here. Plus or minus. Yep. That looks like a baseball. So, no, a circle is not a function. A circle is not a function because, like we can see here, this x right here, it doesn't even matter what x it is. It's going to hit on the top and on the bottom. This is, if we think old school algebra 2 when we do this, vertical line test. Does it ever cross more than once? The vertical line test is what we used to do in algebra on how we test if it was a function. Does it ever cross our picture more than one time? It fails the vertical line test. So that is not a function. So then let's look at this squiggle, which is what we're going to, that is the extent that we're doing with it. Do not even bother trying to graph it. Draw yourself a squiggle. Is this a function? No. Each x, this one goes to like that one and that one and that one. I see 3 places. This x equals at least 3 different things. Not a function. If it was sideways, it would work, but it's not. That looks like what that looks like is it looks like sine of y. If we really care. Okay, we're looking for, do the x's repeat? It does not matter if the y's repeat. Because if like all the y's are the same, we could have a horizontal line. That's a function, totally fine. Vertical lines are not a function, that's why it has a slope of undefined. Totally a function. The reason we care is because we think back to that definition where it had that fancy name of the scripty f. We can use function notation when it's a function, which we're going to be using function notation to evaluate stuff. Like this. So this is the function notation. The f of x. Get used to him. We see him a bunch. F of x. F of x. We'll see him a bunch. They love that name. That's their favorite name. Sometimes it's g of x. Sometimes it's h of x. But f of x is the most favorite name.
It's actually kind of fun. Wait,
What's up?
was this a function or not a function? Girl, think about it.
Do my x's go to more than one y?
Yes.
So is it a function? No.
Okay.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
I didn't know if it was like a
That's
trick
okay.
question.
Nope, not a trick question. I am never going to on purpose trick you. Never on purpose. Sometimes they'll be hard, but I don't want to on purpose trick. Like, it's never going to be deceitful. Could be challenging, but not deceitful. All right. So we have f of x equals x over x minus 5. And we are asked to find f of negative 2. What is our instinct on that one? Substitute in negative 2 in place of what? X. So f of negative 2 means we're going to come over here into our function and substitute in negative 2 in place of the x every place I see an x. Minus 5. And holy cow, is my handwriting terrible right there. We're going to fix that. All right, so our f of negative 2 equals negative 2 over negative 7, or 2/7. Get it all the way simplified. So f of negative 2 is 2/7. Do not mess with this side. Like, don't try and take things out of this parentheses or deal with that. Like, it's just the name. Just the name. So then we're going to do the next one, f of 0. Same vibe. F of 0, and we substitute in 0 in place of the x. So we're going to have 0 over 0 minus 5. So f of 0 is what? Yeah, 0 over negative 5, or, simplifies all the way down, to what? 0. 0 divided by negative 5 means I have no cookies to split among my friends.
Is it going to stay this easy?
What do you think? This is our input. We put in a 0. It gave us the output. That's where those input-output words went. We plugged in a 0. That was our input. Our output was a 0. On the first one, our input was negative 2. Our output was 2/7. What about for f of 5? So we're going to put our 5 in place of the x and 5 in place of the x on the bottom. Uh-oh. We get a 0 in the denominator. 5 over 0, what does that simplify down to? Undefined. We cannot do that. It is undefined when x is 3, or when x is 5, sorry. That's what happens when I write and try and talk at the same time. So it is undefined when x is 5. F of 5 is undefined. Okay? Next part. So sometimes our functions aren't going to be just lines. So here I've got my f of x is minus x squared plus 4x minus 5. But we're doing the exact same process. F of negative 2 means we're going to substitute in negative 2 in place of my x. So f of negative 2 equals the opposite of, and whenever I substitute in, especially when there's exponents, put parentheses, plus 4 times negative 2 minus 5. Ooh, that dark blue does blend pretty well. So let's simplify negative 2 before we jump ahead. F of negative 2. What is negative 2 squared? 4. So opposite of 4. 4 times negative 2 minus 5. Ooh. So we have negative 4 plus negative 8 minus 5. Yes, negative 17. So we're not always just going to have numbers to plug in, because where's the challenge in that? Oh my gosh. Treat it exactly the same. Our input was negative 2, our output was negative 17. So I'm going to make a little line here so we could use that space. So now we're going to put in 2x in place of my x. Same vibe. F of 2x. So we have the opposite of 2x, the term, squared, plus 4 times 2x minus 5. Hey, I fit it all in. I'm going to make it so you can actually see that. There we go. crooked, but it's all there. So then let's simplify this. F of 2x equals, what is 2x squared? 4x squared. So we have the opposite of 4x squared. What is 4 times 2x? 8x minus 5. Can I simplify that any further? No. No was the correct answer there. I mean, if you really feel like trying to factor, you can. Multiplies to be 20, adds to be 8. No, you can't. Those would not work with the signs. If it was negative 20, that would work, but it's positive 20 as your numerator. Or positive 20 is the top. Or if it was negative 8. Okay? So last one up here, f of x plus 4. Same vibe. I'm going to zoom it out so we can actually see our equation, giving us another little barrier that did not change colors. I'm going to run out of space. There we go. No, I won't. So, our f of x plus 4 and we substitute that in. We've got the opposite of x plus 4, the quantity, squared, plus 4 times x plus 4 minus 5. This time we are going to have to do some work to simplify it. Because f of x plus 4, that's not changing. The opposite of, what is x plus 4 quantity squared? X squared plus 8x plus 16 plus 4x plus 16 minus 5. I put my x plus 4 quantity squared in parentheses because we still have this minus sign out front. I've got to distribute my minus sign through before we can be done. So we have f of x plus 4 is negative x squared minus 8x minus 16 plus 4x plus 16 minus 5. And we need to simplify and we're almost done. And I cannot write in a straight line to save my life. It looks not as awful on my iPad. But that is very tilted. So f of x plus 4 is, what's our simplified answer? Negative x squared minus 4x minus 5. That is f of x plus 4. Okay? It's very similar, but like this is what we're doing for like the rest of the day. Okay? We're going to keep going with this. We're getting a new function and now we're going to have new things. F of x is 5x minus 2. And now we don't have any numbers. Don't panic. Take a step at a time. All right, so we have f of a. A and h are just numbers, so we just treat them like numbers. So f of a, we just are replacing the x with an a. 5a minus 2. Same thing with the minus a. It's the very same vibe. We're replacing x with the opposite of a. So f of minus a is 5 times minus a minus 2. Can we simplify that? Yeah. F of the opposite of a equals negative 5a minus 2. What's up? What's up, my giggle collar? My giggle guys? What's up? My giggle guys. Because you giggle.
What?
All day. The two of you.
That's him.
It's you both.
Going on TikTok.
You both are giggly. You just over here giggling with each other. Good? Okay.
You should separate.
Well, that means I would have to move somebody else.
Exactly, because there's no open seats.
I mean, you guys could always come and sit up here at this front one.
No, I think we're good. I think we're good.
Oh, hey, they be talking.
They be talking more than us.
I can't even hear you.
They louder. Or you louder than they are. You're louder.
They always move in their manner.
Okay, extra. That's coming from me. That was extra. Come on, man. All right, so this is the opposite of f of a.
I am, but
You know if I'm calling something extra. Come on. Come on. So it's the opposite of the whole function. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do f of a, but we're going to do the opposite of the whole thing. 5 times a minus 2. So the opposite of f of a is minus 5a plus 2. What's up? Because you know it just gets worse. We good? Because it kicks up another notch down on this bottom row. Because we're going to do f of a plus h, which we treated exactly like we did the ones on the other page, where this is going in place of the x, the a plus h. So f of a plus h is 5 times a plus h minus 2. So what can I do to simplify that? Distribute it. 5a plus 5h minus 2. Okay. So we're going to do now f of a plus f of h. So f of a we've done. f of a is just 5a plus plus 2. F of h is 5h plus 2. Minus 2. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong things. Minus 2 on both of those. So f of a plus f of h is minus 4. Yes. Then we're going to do this one. But we've already done some of the pieces on here. F of a plus h. We did that. F of a plus h. We already said that was the very left one on the bottom row. 5a plus 5h minus 2. We did f of a plus h. It was this guy, f of a plus h. So we did it. So we're just going to put that in the numerator up here. Yes. Then we're going to subtract f of a, which is this guy. Sorry, I know. I'll get it to zoom in here in just a second. And it's all over h, which is just h. Because we used f of a. For this one? Because that was this guy here. Yes,
So isn't f of a plus h minus f of a?
Yes.
Oh.
I will switch those out to be highlighters so we can actually see the dang thing. So this one is pink. This one is purple. And h is just a number. There we go. That makes it less awful to try and read through my marks. What did I say?
I think.
That's what I thought. So let's bring it in here and simplify. All right. Whoa, not a pen. Let's simplify this. So we have 5a plus 5h minus 2. We're going to distribute this minus sign through to get minus 5a plus 2, and this is all still over h. Simplify our numerator. What do we have? Because the 5a and the minus 5a cancel out. I've got minus 2 plus 2. And we're left with 5h over h, which is 5. So f of a plus h minus f of a all over h is 5. Go team. And no, we're not done. Because what happens when they're grosser? Going back, going back. All right. We're going to do the same process, but this time it has an x squared.
Does your mouth ever stop moving?
Does yours? Just saying, do not dish it if you can't take it. Just saying. Who do I hear talking the most out of that group? You.
You don't see them talking? You only see me.
Who's the loudest? Who's the loudest of them all? It's you.
That's them all day. And you only say
Your whisper is louder than their talking.
Okay.
If it's distracting for you, I have a lovely open seat right here, Tommy. If it bothers you, change your situation.
I'm good.
Okay, then stop whining about it. Thank you. Oh my gosh. You are a little bit extra, Tommy. Oh my gosh. All right. We're going to do the same thing, but this time it is x squared plus 3. So f of a, that's just replacing the x with an a. So f of a is a squared plus 3. When we do it with f of minus a, we get the opposite of our a value squared plus 3. What happens when we square a negative number? Stays positive. So this is still just a squared plus 3. When we have our minus f of a, we have the opposite of a squared plus 3. So we have the opposite of the whole function rule. So we have the opposite of a squared minus 3. So then we're going to come down here to this a plus h. It's not negative a squared. It's negative a squared. It's different. So it's like saying negative 2 squared or negative 2 squared. Separate thoughts. Okay, so the parentheses make a difference. The opposite of 2 squared is negative 4. Negative 2 when squared is positive 4. So the parentheses make a really big important difference there.
Didn't this one also have parentheses?
It had the parentheses on the outside.
Is it because it's a negative out then? That's
Because it's the opposite of the function. We take the whole function and negative it.
okay, gotcha.
And as for the when we'll use it in real life, you'll use this later in pre-calculus when we do composition of functions a gazillion times. That's what this is. Mm-hmm. What? Yeah. We're going to use all kinds of things. We're going to take all kinds of functions and smash them together. All right, let's do our f of a plus h. So we're going to take our a plus h and put it in place of the x. So this is f of a plus h is a plus h squared plus 3. Let's simplify that out. If we multiply it out, what is a plus h quantity squared? A squared 2ah plus h squared plus 3. Box it out if you need to, or distribute it. It's different than f of a plus f of h. f of a plus f of h means we do each one individually. We're going to do our a squared plus 3 plus h squared plus 3. So f of a plus h is a squared plus h squared plus 6. So do not assume that these two things are the same. They look really, really similar. They look related, and they are related, but they are not identical. They're more like second cousins. They're related, but it's distant. All right, the last one, which means I'm going to change our view so we can actually see it. All right. So, and again, we've done some of these pieces. It's almost like we're trying to lead you to stuff. F of a plus h. I did in the dark blue. Why is it not giving me a highlighter? Because I keep hitting eraser. That's why. They look the same. One's tilted and one's straight up and down. One's highlighter, one's eraser. And our f of a, I did in purple at the top. So I've got my blue and I've got my purple. And then h is just h. So when we write this as our fraction, we're going to have our a squared plus 2ah plus h squared plus 3. And we are going to subtract my whole of f of a squared plus 3. And I'm right on the edge there. And it's all over h. And we are going to simplify this. Do we see where all the pieces came from? Because then I can zoom it in. And we can actually see what we're writing and have it be less terrible handwriting. Because that's terrible. Holy cow. So we have a squared plus 2ah plus h squared plus 3 minus a squared plus 3. So what's going to happen when we subtract the a squared? It's going to cancel with that guy. What's going to happen when we subtract the 3? It's going to cancel with that one. So we're going to be left with a numerator of 2ah plus h squared all over h. What happens now? I've got h's that cancel out, and if we need to do it in 2 steps, please do, because I can factor out h of both of those pieces to get me 2a plus h over h. It's got to come out of both terms. So our answer is 2a plus h is what's left from that fraction. Yes,
Will we be able to, well, obviously we can't, but like, why wouldn't we be able to just cancel out the
You can, as long as you remember to cancel it out of both. Since it's added together, I got to cancel it out of this here and this one here. Okay? 3-4. We're up to 3-4, and that date is right. Look at us, and look at us being all caught up on the schedule.